Family initiation. The whole family was tiptoeing around Ethel now. Her daughter Linda had just given birth to a baby girl, little Madison Jr., and they thought bringing the newborn over might snap Grandma back to normal. Big mistake. They walked in with the baby dressed head to toe in bright red onesie, red hat, red blanket. Cute as hell. Straight out the baby store. Linda was beaming, holding her up like an offering. Mom, look, your new granddaughter. Ethel/Vaughn took one look at all that red, and her face twisted like she saw a whole pack of ops. In her head, it was straight disrespect. Blood colors in her old blockhouse. She stood up slow, cane in hand, eyes cold. Oh, that's real cute, baby. She reached out, took the newborn, and held her for about 3 seconds before accidentally dropping her. The baby hit the couch cushion. Thank God it was soft, but the whole room lost their shit. Linda screamed. The family freaked. Ethel just shook her head calmly. Whoops! Must have slipped. These old hands ain't what they used to be. And why the hell y'all got her dressed like a whole blood? She repping the wrong set in my house? Nah, we block in here. Next time put her in black and green or I might accidentally drop her on her head for real. Linda was crying, picking up the baby. Mom, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ethel shrugged, already rolling a blunt in the living room. I'm just saying. We don't play that red shit. Vaughn, don't raise. No disloyal bloods. Get her a proper onesie or keep her away from the set until she's old enough to pick a side. She then kissed the baby on the forehead, real gentle, and whispered, Sorry, little one. Grandma loves you, but you can't be out here looking like food. That's how you get smoked. Later that night, Ethel was in the kitchen feeding the baby a bottle while blasting Crazy Story low. She had already crocheted the baby a tiny black hoodie with O Block Baby stitched on it. When Linda tried to leave early, Ethel blocked the door. Where do you think you're going? We got an initiation to do. She got to get jumped into the family proper. Linda, Mom, she's 3 days old. Ethel, age don't matter. Hand me that pacifier. We turning it into a switch tonight. The family left traumatized. From then on, every baby outfit was pre-approved by Grandma Vaughn. Red was banned. Blue was suspicious. Only black, green, and occasional camo was allowed. Ethel started calling the newborn Lil Vonette and was already planning her first range day when she turned one. The late-night confession later that night, after the rest of the family had gone home shaken, Linda stayed behind. She cornered her mom in the dimly lit kitchen while Ethel was calmly wiping down the counter, humming Took Her to the O under her breath like a lullaby. The only light came from the stove hood, casting long shadows across Ethel's sweet old face. Mom, be honest with me, Linda whispered, voice trembling. Did you drop the baby because she was wearing red? Is this really about colors? Ethel turned slowly, that innocent grandma smile still plastered on. She tilted her head like she was thinking real hard. Oh, sweetheart, you read the situation all wrong. She paused, eyes glinting. The baby falling from my arms really blew my mind. The pun landed heavy in the quiet kitchen. Linda's stomach dropped. Before Linda could respond, Ethel suddenly sneezed. A sharp, wet sound that didn't sound like any normal sneeze. It was quiet, almost whispered, but crystal clear. Then Ethel gave her daughter the chilliest fucking wink. Slow, knowing, ice cold, while nodding once like they had just sealed a pact. The kitchen felt 10 degrees colder. Linda stood there frozen, heart pounding, staring at the woman who used to bake her cookies and read her Bible stories. Now that woman was standing there in her flower apron with razors, probably hidden in her rollers, repping O Block like it was scripture. Ethel smiled sweetly again, like nothing happened. Bless you, dear. Allergies are terrible this time of year. Now go on home and get that baby in some proper colors. Grandma loves y'all, but disloyalty gets dropped. You feel me? She pulled Linda into a warm hug, the kind that used to feel safe. Now it felt like a warning. As Linda left, Ethel stood in the doorway waving, that chilly wink still burning in her eyes. The door closed. Ethel turned back inside, locked it, and laughed that low, deep King Von chuckle while patting the meth in her bra. Soft-ass family. They'll learn. Sunday service roll call Sunday morning at First Baptist. The sanctuary was packed with the usual crowd of sweet old ladies in their Sunday best. Pastor Dave, sweating a little more than usual these days, was making his rounds after the sermon, personally checking in with each of the elderly sisters like he always did. He started down the line. Mrs. Jenkins, how have you been? Oh, Pastor, I've been sewing quilts for the homeless shelter. Keeps my hands busy. Lovely. And you, Mrs. Thompson? Not Ethel yet. I've been spending extra time with my grandchildren. They grow up so fast. Beautiful. Sister Margaret, I've been deep in scripture. Pastor, The book of Psalms has been speaking to me. The responses were textbook wholesome. The pastor was smiling, nodding, feeling like maybe things were stabilizing. Then he got to Ethel. She was sitting there in her flower dress with a black hoodie underneath, cane resting across her lap like a rifle. Big, innocent smile. Pastor Dave kept it professional. Sister Ethel, how about you? What have you been up to lately? Ethel leaned forward, looked him dead in the eyes, and said loud enough for the first three pews to hear, Shit, I've been smoking dead ops, you weird batch. The entire row went dead silent. A hymn CD skipped in the background. One old lady dropped her purse. Pastor Dave blinked hard, trying to recover. He forced a nervous chuckle and whispered, Ethel, Sister Ethel, that language isn't appropriate for the Lord's house. Maybe we should talk after service too. He didn't even finish the sentence. That tiny bit of correction, that perceived attitude, was all it took. Ethel's smile didn't fade, but her eyes went ice cold. She gave him that same slow, chilly wink she gave her daughter the night before. No problem, Pastor. I understand. We'll talk real soon. 24 hours later, Monday evening, Pastor Dave was in his office at the church, working on next week's sermon. He heard a soft knock at the back door. When he opened it, there was Ethel standing there with a fresh plate of banana bread, smiling sweetly. Evening, Pastor. Brought you something. No hard feelings about yesterday, right? He let her in because who turns away Grandma with baked goods? They sat down. She was polite, even prayed with him. He took a big bite of the bread. It tasted off, a little bitter. That night, Pastor Dave started seeing things. He woke up at 3 a.m., drenched in sweat, convinced he heard King Von playing from inside his walls. The next morning, his car was keyed with "O Bloke" on all four doors, and someone had left a dead pigeon on his porch with a note. Don't ever correct Grandma Von again. Weird batch. Next time it's you smoking. O Block. He never found fingerprints. The banana bread was long gone. When he saw Ethel at the next prayer meeting, she waved sweetly from across the room, patted the spot in her bra where she kept the work, and mouthed, Bless you, Pastor, while giving him that terrifying little wink. Pastor Dave started carrying holy water in his pocket and praying extra hard. He never corrected Ethel again.